The time is 7:06, and the 8th meeting of council is called to order. We will proceed with the land acknowledgement. Western University is situated on the traditional territories of the Anishinaabeg, Haudenosaunee, Lenape, and Attawandaron peoples, who have long-standing relationships to the land and region of southwestern Ontario and the City of London. The local First Nation communities of this area include Chippewa of the Thames First Nation, Oneida Nation of the Thames, and Munsee Delaware Nation. In the region, there are 11 First Nation communities and a growing Indigenous urban population. Western values the significant historical and contemporary contributions of local and regional First Nations and all of the original people of Turtle Island, also known as North America. And we will now be led in the Western song by Councillor Kermack.
Yeah, that's why I need the mic.
Oh, it actually says video unavailable.
Oh, it actually says, yeah, it says video unavailable.
Yeah, he took it down.
Okay, all right.
Go for it.
All right. And I still don't know it properly. So. Okay. Western U, college fair and square. Arts and meds are strong for you, deny it if you dare. White and purple colors are worn by all who know just which college is the best. Come and let us show that this U is our U, and for her we'll strive to do our bit and fight with might and main. What's main? We will always adore her, our own alma mater, Western School of Fame. When Western U goes marching down the field, we know that our team will never ever yield. And though the other team has lots of pep, when they meet our team, they'll know they're out of step. And when the game goes down in history, history is just another Western victory. Then all the cheers go up for Western U, rah, rah, rah.
Okay, we'll now proceed with roll call. Please go to Echo 360. Okay, we'll now move on to the approval of the agenda. So we have no presentations, but we will hear the board report. We have the executive report, and then we have two motions coming from GNF. The first is the motion regarding conflict of interest policy and procedure, and the second is the motion to add a 4th USC counselor to the Faculty of Health Sciences for the new school. And then we'll hear a motion from the ACOSC committee, which is the motion regarding change to the legislative calendar. We will be going through the extent of all of the motions today, as this is a one-part meeting, so we'll do all the voting today as well. Can I get a mover to approve the agenda? Councillor Kermack, and then Councillor Haug will second. Are there any questions on the agenda? Are there any points of debate or amendments to be made to the agenda at present? Okay, seeing as there are none, please go to Echo 360 to vote. The agenda stands. We'll now approve the minutes. If you want to see the minutes from the last meeting, go to the agenda link. Are there any, can I get a mover for approving of the minutes? Councillor Solowski, and a seconder, Councillor Liakakos. Is there any questions on the minutes from the last meeting? If there are none, are there any questions or points of debate, or points of debate or amendments, I mean? Seeing as there are none, please go to Echo 360 to vote. The minutes stand. I have no comments, so we'll now hear from our board chair, Kathlena.
I know Bella has like a timeline today, so I will be super quick. My only big update is we recently had our winter retreat. So that is the training session for all the incoming directors. So they have been great. It went over phenomenally. We had Sunday outgoing president and Emily incoming president there. So that was really exciting. And all of the committees have been selected for the next year. So as part of our governance, we have 3 subcommittees, kind of like you guys, and directors get assigned to those committees at the winter retreat, and they review all the policies that are coming up through those. So that's the big ones are governance, finance, and HR, and we have new directors, and they volunteered to be on all the committees, so that's super exciting. And yeah, the corp is happy, is my update. So thank you so much.
With that, we'll move on to our first motion, which is the executive report motion for March. President Ajak is the mover. Is there a seconder? Is anybody who doesn't usually second? Teles Jimenez? Okay, cool. Exec, you have the floor.
Thanks, Allison. Appreciate that. I got one. Okay, we'll be quick. It's our March meeting, so I know everyone wants to get out. I think it's kind of cool that the sun is still out and it's 7 p.m. I don't know if anyone noticed that on the way in, but I thought that was kind of crazy. Anyways, okay, moving on. So March was great in terms of a lot of our programming initiatives. So speaking of programming, if you guys have not been living under a rock, we have 2 amazing concerts happening Friday and Saturday. Obviously, on Friday we have Quavo coming to campus, and then on the day after we have Sundown with amazing student DJs. So, hands up if you got a ticket to any of those. Yes, student engagement. Love to see it. Okay, we have 1. Moving forward, I'll let Emily speak on this a little bit more, but we had our USC General Assembly last week, actually 2 weeks ago now. So alongside Emily Poirier and AVP Ann Lay, the GA took place from March 7th to the 10th. We brought 12 delegates to McMaster University to help us author 3 USC policy papers. The papers included addressing racism and religious discrimination, gender-based and sexual violence prevention and response, and international students and international education. Okay, moving forward to USC entrepreneurship. This is a little initiative of me. So program has been going absolutely phenomenal. These students involved have submitted their applications. Their products are doing great. Some of them actually have products in creation. Some of them just have amazing ideas. And their live pitches are next Thursday, March 28th in McKellar Theater, where we'll be selecting the winners. So that's really exciting as well. So for some general updates, I believe some of you came to our Inspire conference, which was our mental health conference, brand new, first done, to support students. We had 2 amazing speakers. This actually came out of one of our board subcommittees, so the EDI committee on the USC, to promote mental health support and inspiration among USC leaders and employees. So we had keynote speakers, Sam Dema and Bean Gill, phenomenal speakers. If you ever get a chance to hear them speak and talk about their experiences, highly recommend. We had over 70 students attend the conference, counselors, employees, students, etc. Phenomenal day. Transitioning with the amazing Emily Kalajian, our incoming president, has been going really well. Isn't that right, Emily? Yeah, awesome. And lastly, we have our incoming and outgoing president's dinner happening sometime soon, which hopefully many of you guys seen my email. It'll be next April 5th, I believe. April 5th at 7 p.m. So yeah. So my wins. So real. You have to answer for that. Is that a ringtone? That's okay. All right. Okay. You know what? It's unique. I'll give you that. Okay. Quavo sold out in 17 minutes. That's my first win. My second win is I got to drive my favorite type of car at USC. I'm a big like suburban guy. I love it. So that was really fun as well. And then my last one was a little bit of a unique one. A few weeks back, a student had came to me about thinking about returning to campus. She had lost her passion, didn't really know what to do, and had applied, but was feeling a little scared. And then she reached back a couple days ago saying that she got accepted. So that warmed my heart a bit, and that was really good. Yeah. Okay, and that's everything. Told you I'd be quick. Any questions? Love it. Okay, let's move on.
Hi everyone, so these are my completed for March. So yesterday I held an international dinner with Marissa Medeski, who's the university registrar, to check in with international students on how their year went. They were made up of first years and third years, so they're kind of transitioning into important years of their degree. And it was just kind of an appreciation dinner on how we can best support them next year. I was also part of the Brush Academic Social, which just was helping students transition into main campus. Medical documentation meeting with Susan Lewis. So with our new My Virtual Doctor service, our medical notes were not being accepted. And along with a staff member, this month I ensured that this was communicated to faculty and deans. And I think our medical notes look a little different, so now they're aware and they should be accepted. I did Radio Western with the execs. On Sunday, we closed our accessibility survey. We had over 275 students, and the next step is just working on a report. Today we held 2 events. So today was the mental health initiative, Escaping Mental Health Stigma with the USC, and then an allyship workshop by the USC Accessibility Committee. And then last week I moderated a panel for Accessibility Employment Forum along with SOGS for Western. And then for interviews, I did a Free the Dot and advocacy wrap up for USC Voice. For ongoing, next Monday is an AI town hall. It's a collaboration with Mark Daly, who's the chief of AI. So if you have time, March 25th, it's in the McKell room from 4 to 6 p.m. I'm working on more study tip prompts videos, such as that ChatGPT video, but I want to provide things for midterm and exam seasons. I'm also working on accommodations for religious and spiritual holidays. So this was something that went to Senate last year and was something I was passionate about. So I'm just working with Susan Lewis in the EDI office to kind of push this forward a little bit more before I leave. A Free the Dot update. So I met with Matt Mills, who's the director of facilities, and we're kind of working on a number of how many machines can go up and being more strategic this time. The 150 washrooms, the machines that went up were just random. And I know a lot of buildings were missed. So this time we're trying to be more strategic. This month, I'm also working on the work integrated policy paper, so you guys will see that next month. And my student appeals coordinator led a focus group last Friday. I'm part of the academic working group on policy for Senate. So currently we're reviewing the new draft for academic consideration, the new SRA, so I can update you next time. And then this month, you'll also see a street style video on Free the Dot, and that's a collaboration with Boost Terror. And then upcoming, so the VPUA position has been added to Western's Mental Health Strategic Plan Action Team. And the first few meetings will happen in my term, and then I will pass it along to Mari. And then for the rest of upcoming, I've been invited to a convocation task force for a consultation, invited to a Mustang Awards, which I'm excited to attend, and then a kosher meal event. So we did a lot with kosher halal food advocacy this year, and to support the students of now as we're working towards a kosher kitchen, I'm working with Halal Western to come up with events on bringing those meals onto campus and providing those for students. Some of my coordinators, along with VPEA, we will be doing an advocacy day, so look out for that. And of course, transition planning. And my wins for the week or the month were I got to go to New York, attended an International Women's Day breakfast, and I booked my wisdom teeth removal appointment, which was overdue. That's it. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Okay, I promise I will try and keep this quick, which I know usually mine's longest, but I'll try and make it short. So one of the first things sorry, I've had too much coffee today. I'm a little bit all over the place. So one of the things that has been happening last month, so unfortunately, with Women in House, we had to kind of change courses a little bit, which is not really the addition we were hoping for, but it just wasn't coming together with the way we wanted it to. So we had to pivot to to two separate events. So we had a one-day event in Toronto on reimagining the futures of feminism, and then we're having a networking lunch in London on this Saturday with local politicians, and followed by a panel in order to help kind of provide some of those networking opportunities to participants. As for the multi-year budget, past March 5th, finally that's over with. And I'm very happy to tell you all, and you might have already seen, that Council ended up approving 18,000 additional service hours to the LTC, which is 1.6 million for 2024 and 18.6 million over 4 years, which in an 8-7 vote. It's not the full LTC ask, but is a lot more than they were originally planning on getting. So we're really happy that we're able to get something to try and help with the LTC over the next few years. So that's a really big win that I'm really happy that they were able to push forward. Sunday touched on this a little bit already, but we had the USA General Assembly. So we passed papers on gender-based and sexual violence prevention and response, which I co-authored with Michelle, addressing racism, religious discrimination, international students, and international education. And we also commissioned papers for next year. So if any of you are thinking of being USA delegates next year, the papers for next year are tech-enabled learning, student financial aid, environmental sustainability, a comprehensive access strategy, which is like mostly on like pathways from high school and basically making university education more accessible to students, as well as a one-year interim paper in response to the Blue Ribbon Panel report, just because there are some recommendations in that report that are not currently covered by any use of policy stances. So just to make sure that before we renew some of the related papers, that we have something in the short term. And it's also our shortest plenary in recent memory. It was only 9 hours. Those of you who have been to USC before know that is an accomplishment. It's also helped that we had hard cutoff because Waterloo had to leave, but much shorter than usual. So the steering committee was very happy that we were not all having to leave at 9 p.m. again. Some other big things that have been going on is the Ministry of Colleges and Universities made a very big announcement. So the ministry announced $1.3 billion in funding over the next 3 years to colleges and universities to stabilize the sector. And that's kind of divided in a few different ways. But the ones that are most relevant to Western is that there's $903 million through the new post-secondary education sustainability fund, with $203 million for institutions of greater financial need, which will not be Western. $100 million for STEM programs that are currently over-enrolled for their corridor funding, $23 million to enhance mental health supports, with $8 million specifically for the post-secondary mental health action plan. And with all this being said, it's still not the Blue Ribbon Panel report recommendations. And a lot of experts believe in the sector that this will not even cover the shortfalls with inflation. So glad to see that we're getting the infusion. Is not going to necessarily solve the problem that we're trying to address and that USA is trying to address. So in response, USA and the COU have put forward a joint letter asking for more money in the upcoming budget. Another thing that was covered in the announcement, which is really good for students, is the domestic tuition freeze has been confirmed to be extended for the next 3 years. So all in-province tuition will not be rising for the next foreseeable future. Out-of-province tuition will have a 5% cap because in province, the distinguish between in and out of province. And then another thing is the Strengthening Accountability and Student Supports Act, which is part of this larger announcement. And it allows the minister to give directives requiring institutions to provide information on ancillary fees and other costs, like textbook materials and prices. So an example that's given in the bill is providing the information on course syllabi. Alongside that, there's also part of the bill also requires universities to have policies relating to mental health and wellness supports to be reviewed every 5 years, with an annual report to be submitted to the institution's board of governors on the effectiveness of the policy, as well as requiring every university to have a policy and rules against hate and discrimination, including anti-Indigenous racism, anti-Black racism, anti-Semitism, and Islamophobia, with, again, an annual report to be reported to the institution's board of governors on the effectiveness of the effective implementation of the policy. See, I'm talking fast, trying to make it quickly, but I keep stumbling. So also alongside all of that, USA and the USC are continuing to advocate for more money and more consistency in funding. But overall, it's a pretty mixed bag in terms of some really good announcements for students in terms of regulatory things, not what we're looking for, or not quite what we're looking for in terms of funding, but good to see at least something being given there. So some ongoing things, we're finalizing our USC policy papers, so they're to be tabled at the April meeting. Our USA membership review is underway. The final report is to be delivered at the April meeting, and we've had our work plan approved. And I'm also going to be meeting with candidates for the Lambton-Kent Middlesex provincial by-election. So that is one of our other local ridings that we haven't historically engaged with as much. They're just north of what our riding currently is. So that by-election needs to be called before April 1st, but they've already, all the parties have selected their candidates. So this is a really good opportunity for the USC to kind of develop relationships with ridings that we haven't engaged with as much. And in upcoming, the provincial and federal budgets are both coming up. Provincial budget comes out next Tuesday. And so I will also be attending a confidential technical briefing on that before that comes out. Hopefully there'll be some good stuff in there. And the federal budget is coming out on April 16th. And so that will be a little bit more expansive as well. Next week, we have our USA Steering Committee Strategic Plan Retreat. That is an initiative that I've been pushing for within USA. It's really an opportunity for steering committee to really think about USA post-pandemic, what that looks like going forward, because we haven't really had that kind of space to do that. So we're really hoping to have some really good, bold ideas for USA going forward, as well as the USA Partners in Higher Education dinner on April 10th, which Sunday and Maria will be joining me at, alongside the incoming team, which will be very exciting. It's an opportunity to engage with stakeholders from across the sector, get to know everyone in the steering committee, all that good stuff, and also very excited to start beginning transition with Michelle. Any questions? Quick.
Hello, everybody. Okay, mine is also very quick. So first up, the completed from this month, we had a second battle of the bands. I saw some of you guys there. It was really, really fun, great energy. The winners from last semester, Tower Lane, hosted this event, which was really fun, and we had 4 student bands compete again for first place, and Beef took the title. We did De-Stress Fest in collaboration with Student Experience again in Weldon Library, so we brought over some coffee and hot chocolate and cookies and stickers and things like we usually do, and that was really well attended. We ran out of all our stuff again. We also had our 3 days of puppy yoga, which filled up in minutes as usual, and we continued to keep this programming free, so it's accessible for everyone as like a de-stressing event. And then we completed the LST spring sessions. We'll have more soon, but with Western, Carla, our senior manager of people and development, and Jason, our HR coordinator, and myself attended all of these sessions and contributed segments to them. So we train them on topics such as hiring teams, setting the tone for your teams, and hazing. And then they'll continue their training. They have first aid really soon. Ongoing is orientation planning and support. So we continually meet, Sunday and I, with orientation planning admin to work for next year. Soft offers are going out this week, which is very exciting on Friday. So we're working a lot to get those out on time and make sure everything is good. We've also been supporting the LST in their hiring, team forming, and planning. I'm planning for transition, writing my briefs and my sessions for the next VPOP, and supporting my coordinators. So my coordinators have a lot of really cool events going on right now. One really big one is Ethno is doing Limitless this weekend. I'm not sure if anybody is going, but it's they've put a lot of work into it, so that'll be really cool. And then upcoming, we have Spring Soft orientation on April 4th. So planning for that, making sure all the teams know what they're doing, have their cheers ready, that kind of thing. And then Vintage on Campus, we're doing that very soon. So that'll be in the lounge. So the posters are already up and about. And then our soft pub, so all current and past softs are welcome from all constituencies. So that is next Wednesday, I believe. And then transition is upcoming. So yeah, my wins are I get a new VPOP very, very soon. I'm going to Europe in the summer, and I love St. Patty's, so I had a really good time. Any questions? Per.
Okay, hi y'all. So for completed, as mentioned, we had the 2 grants from Western Sustainability Impact Fund. So just a couple updates with that is we're in the process of ordering the hydroponic library for next year for food support, and SoapSan is on its way. We are going to be, this is kind of like part of ongoing as well, but we're going to be working with a local store called Reimagine Co., who's going to be providing the products. So I'm really excited to be able to collaborate with them and to kind of promote what they're able to offer for like sustainable options and products. Student Services Committee, we had finished that up for the year. We also had USC Day. The theme this year was menstrual equity, and my coordinator Sophia killed it. We had tons of free menstrual products, amazing speakers, and a lot of fun stuff going on. Pride USC also had a drag workshop, which was really cool, where a drag queen and king came to teach people how to do different elements of drag. It was a super fun and relaxed event, and it went really well. I also helped out with reach training, so I've done one bit and I'm going to do the second bit next week. So I had the chance to join reach and teach them a little bit more about equity, diversity, inclusion, and decolonization. And some of that included important definitions, understanding what EDID is, and how to practice cultural humility throughout the conference. And next week I'm going to be discussing ensuring that they keep well mental health throughout the conference and how to take care of the mental health of delegates. For ongoing, we have the income tax clinic going on right now. So it's running right now out of the student annex, and it's going to continue to run until March 28th. So if you need help with your taxes, definitely go make an appointment. Currently preparing for Relay for Life, which is happening this weekend. Please sign up if you haven't yet, or if you have friends that have signed up, and if you can, donate to their team. And also preparing for the Peer Support Prosper Conference, kind of just helping to make sure everything runs smoothly for the events. And I'm going to be going to Relay myself and kind of just being an extra set of hands and hopefully participating in some of the event too. And then for upcoming, we have the awards for grants and recognition. So the award ceremony for that will be happening in April. Pride Ball, Relay, as I mentioned, the part 2 of Reach training, and then also starting a transition plan for the incoming VPSS. And my 3 wins are USG Day, Clubs Dodgeball, which I must have skipped over by accident. I did. That was in my completed section. Clubs Dodgeball was something that was played by my AVP, Nathalie, where a bunch of clubs came and did a little dodgeball tourney. Everyone got really into it, and one coach was wearing like a full suit and had a clipboard that he broke when their team lost in the finals, and it was awesome. So that was really, really fun. And then the drag workshop. I love getting to be a part of all of these like really cool events that my coordinators put on, and just getting to see their like visions come to life has been amazing. So it's definitely been my wins. Any questions?
Just to clarify, to sign up for Relay for Life, is it like automatically $20?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Goodness. And if anyone does want to sign up and doesn't know how, I can help after the meeting, not right now. Okay. Thanks.
Okay, are there any points of debate or amendments to be made to the executive reports motion? If there are none, please go to Echo 360 to vote. Okay, this motion passes unanimously. I'm gonna, yeah, you can clap if you want. I'm gonna call a 10-minute recess now, so anyone who needs to break their fast can. Return at 7:46, please. Go ahead.
Double major in anthropology. Oh wow, because you just seem so like studious, and I feel like we have to studious.
I'm also a social psycho. Sociocultural.
And your kids, what kind of quiz that has and Raleigh people can? Yes. Is your like you? Yeah, I do.
No. Like I was like, I'm getting a bachelor's, it's so funny. But then I had a mind percentage and I decided to make it a major. Because I love it so much. And I'm doing a master's.
Oh. It's cold in here. But everyone, like, especially on stage. And it's one of my friends, because it's yeah. But I didn't I only ever use it in chat. Yeah, me neither. Like, but when I'm always like, that's so real.
Please return to your seats. We'll now move on to the motion regarding the conflict of interest policy procedure. President Ajak is the mover, Councillor Wing is the seconder. President Ajak, you have the floor if you'd like to speak on this.
Okay, council. Does everyone know what's going on here? Ish? Maybe? Do I need to explain? No? Okay, everyone knows what's going on. Okay.
Are there questions on this motion? Okay, if there are no questions, are there any points of debate or amendments to be made about this motion? Seeing as there are none, please go to Echo 360 to vote. This motion passes unanimously. We'll now move on to our next motion, which is the motion to add a fourth USC counselor to the Faculty of Health Sciences for the new school. Councillor Jones is the mover. Is there a seconder? Councillor Batista. Are there any, or Councillor Jones, you have the floor if you'd like.
Hi, everyone. So for this motion, basically, we are getting a new school, as everybody knows, and I would like to add another counselor position to be elected for the 2024 to 2025 school year. We are deserving of another counselor anyway because we're already over 4,000 students, and with the Brescia merger, we're going to go to around 4,500. But if everything followed, it would be elected for the 25 to 26 school year. So this motion is just to do it in the by-election in October. I would be happy to answer any questions. Yes, Allison.
This is more of like a clarification question, but in the motion, the title or whatever says motion out of fourth USC counselor, but the last be it resolved says the fifth counselor.
I think the fourth counselor is like besides the president, but if that should be 5 on both, I can amend that.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
I just wanted to make sure.
Which do you think is the right wording? To change the first fourth or the second or the fifth? Do we know? 5 seats altogether. I kind of think that the wording's right. I think the wording's right. We can change it to the fifth.
Right, because we already have, like, we're always gonna have the president, right? So we're adding a fourth counselor, but then we're gonna have 5 seats in total. So it's 5, yeah.
I think it looks right to me. I don't know.
I guess
Okay,
that's
we can,
true.
if you all want to, are there any further questions? Okay, then would anybody like to amend or debate? Or yeah. Okay, in that case, we can go to Echo 360 to vote. This motion also passes unanimously. So we'll move on to our final motion of the evening, which is the motion regarding change to the legislative calendar. President Ajak is the mover. Is there a seconder? Councillor Kermack. President Ajak, you have the floor if you'd like.
Yep, so we're just changing the date of the AGM to earlier in May, so you guys all have time to still be here. Sound good? Cool.
Okay, questions on this? If there are no questions or any points of debate or amendments to be made. Seeing as there are none, please go to Echo 360 to vote. This motion also passes unanimously. We don't have any for information items. There are no for discussion items, and now we'll take questions or comments from the Western community. Does anybody from the gallery would like to speak? Okay, if not, we don't have any new business, I don't believe. Oh, before we terminate, the Counselor Gala will be taking place here at 7 o'clock next week. Feel free to wear whatever you want. I will be in formal attire, so don't worry about being too dressed up. If you want to dress down, that's also fine. And then anyone who ordered a sweater, they're in, and I'll let you know when you can pick it up and wear. So in that case, does anyone like Counselor Wasti? Motion to adjourn from Counselor Wasti. Is there a seconder? Counselor Solowski. Are there any objections to adjourning? If not, then I will see you all next week here. There will be food and awards.
Let's go.